Why are you in shambles?
Me?
Well, yeah, you look a little shambly.
I look in shambles?
Darren always looks in shambles, but I'm not going to mention it.
I got a button-up shirt. I was not wearing anything before. I was walking around in a bathrobe like Tony Soprano, just fucking.
Well, thank you so much for dressing up for us.
Yeah.
That cardigan, that looks like you own a gun and a slave.
Oh, thank you. Are you saying I look very rich and dignified?
Yes.
You look like you do puzzles all the time.
Yeah.
You look like a successful white guy from the 1700s.
But a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You look like you can do chess with your eyes closed.
Oh, thank you. So autistic and dashing.
How far are we going to keep going with it? Because I can keep. Do we want to keep going?
Just keep roasting me. That's fine. I was like, when did this turn into roast Darren? But it's okay. I can take
You look like you can play chess, but you can't spell chess.
You look like you are a substitute teacher who sells the kids weed.
That's a true story.
You look like you teach us soap making at the community college. Nothing? Fuck you guys. Fuck you.
You look like you make your own mugs, but I don't know. But they look like titties. I don't know.
That's a great idea. I've got an Etsy shop, so I am. Just keep brainstorming.
And every year
that look like titties. That's what I got.
Every year your extended family's like, oh, another titty mug. Thank you. Wow. That's great.
The uniform this year.
You're getting better at it.
A titty stein, I like that because you flip open the top, or you can drink it right from the nipple on the.
Nice.
I like me a titty stein. That's the quote of the podcast. That's the quote.
How was the week? I just realized I was like, I need to make notes for the podcast about what I did this week. I went, just more Netflix. Oh shit!
I tried.
Oh, Kava Kava!
Kava Kava!
Dude, how did that go?
It does promote, like it says, it promotes relaxation and a sense of calm.
You feel different? You look different.
The first day I was like, I've only taken it twice this week. Mm-hmm. First day I was like, I'm feeling really good. This is nice. And then I was like, all right, the Kava Kava. And then the second day I took it, but I also drank way too much coffee. So I was in this weird, like the calmness was pushing it down, but it was like this weird resistance, like waves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I felt calm, but I was also
jittery.
Panicking. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like when you take a Red Bull with vodka in it, and then you're like, I feel good, but I feel like alert at the same time.
Yeah, you feel relaxed. Yeah, relaxed in the unease.
That's the worst kind of feeling. That's just like what smoking weed does to me now. It just makes me like pinprick awareness combined with intense anxiety.
Mm-hmm. That's my every waking day.
So I imagine having a stroke is like. Do you guys?
Speaking of strokes, I just watched the Patrice doc.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't mean for that, but yeah, I watched it too last night.
Yeah, so did I. It's almost like we planned that.
We did it. Did we plan it? I didn't. I wasn't aware of that. I just wanted to watch it. Okay. Apparently, I was listening to a clip, and somebody said that they had cut 20 minutes out of it in order to air more episodes of The Office.
Yes, there was something. I started watching it on Comedy Central, and then flipped and watched it off the YouTube, and there was big chunks of it that I was like, that's new. Oh, that part's new. Like I watched it from the beginning again. So there was stuff that they cut out, especially the part where he bangs those two chicks. Oh, that might have just been okay.
The porn you watched after?
That was YouTube. Yeah.
Red
Cold. BDC, yeah. It was good, but I do find I do find like he was like listen to Pete Holmes' podcast, and he was talking to a younger comic about it, and was just saying how it was such such a hardcore atmosphere at the Comedy Cellar, and he came in and just get roasted all the time, or just feel very unwelcome. And he's like, there's one guy in particular, and his like attitude was like, "Fuck you! If I can make you feel unwelcome and never come back here again, and terrified to step in this room, that's one less spot that you know." And he goes, "But that guy's dead now." So, and I just like was like, oh, even though he's a good comic, and I've enjoyed like his special, and that you're like, oh, I don't know if he was a very like nice guy. I just feel like I would have got bullied by him quite harshly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice part that they kept saying that he was amazing in so many ways, but also a huge asshole.
Yeah.
You can tell from those clips of them like on the street, like that candid footage, that it's just a constant flow of like shit talking and yeah.
But you got to be able to do. I don't mind that with like a group, a circle of like close friends. But I think when you just walk in that atmosphere and like people it feels like a locker room all over again. It feels like a high school locker room. You just go in and power and just people just being like, "What's up, small dick?" Not that they said that to me, but you know,
those are things that people could say. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it is romanticized now that he's dead.
Well, he was a good comic. Like that Elephant in the Room is still a funny stand-up. Like that's still one of the best specials of all time. Like I those clips in the doc, I still laughed. Like
I laughed quite hard actually.
Yeah, so like he's obviously one of the greats. He is one of the greats. Yeah. But like he did that to directors. Like he would belittle directors. Like this thing we're making right now is shit. That's crazy. Like,
which is what's his name? Jim Norton is like telling that anecdote about like I'm trying to tell him like who cuts the paycheck, like shut the fuck up, man, you're gonna get fired. But he didn't care, or he just is like had his finger on the self-destruct button. Like I feel there's people who are like that as well. Just like I'm just gonna burn it, watch everything burn. And you're like, oh, that's
It's also the same. Then if I'm like right, the thing is, I think that he was. What I came out with was that he wasn't wrong. Everything he was kind of right about. Even the and what really made me sad is like if he just lived, he would have just been thriving on his own with some great podcast or something, or like because that Opie and Anthony show was just basically a podcast.
But he would have shit on podcasts, and he probably would have self-destructed the podcast. So like he was a self-destruct machine.
But they did say as well, he was turning a corner where they're like, oh, he was less of a cunt. Like later on, like he started to come around and have that thing where you're like, being like, oh, maybe I don't want to hurt people. Maybe I don't want to just like walk into a room and make everyone leave in tears. That'd be a good thing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff reminded me. There's this kid I went to high school with. He was a year older than me. He was like I've never met anybody like him, and everything everybody was saying about Patrice reminded me of him. Where he was basically, he was like, no, he was tall, but he was like the most
big dick
skilled person I've ever seen this was even starting in grade 6, 7 when I met him. The most like the Michael Jordan of making fun of people and belittling you. There's nothing you could say if he chose to pick on you or something. It was like, it didn't matter. The coolest guys I know would just get just completely destroyed, and everybody would be laughing at him. And it was crazy. It was always, in hindsight, it's kind of amazing. I've never been anybody like that.
What's he doing now?
I don't know.
Is he also have diabetes?
I'm sure he's doing fine. Sorry, go ahead.
Did he have friends? Like, did he ride that line between like not getting his ass kicked and being able to dish out shit?
He was bigger. Yeah, he was one of the cool guys. I hung out with, it was a little bit smaller town, so it was a little bit rougher. Not like crazy rough, but I think too, it was like everybody got on his side because it was, you were scared of him. So you really, it was like, not only was he funny and like really good at cutting people down, but he would also, you didn't want to get cut down too. So it's not like you were going to challenge him in any way, but it was even like in like after high school, he was in Victoria for a little bit. And then I remember that one of the coolest guys I've ever met in line at a club. And then the guy was just making fun of his jeans and making him feel, I think so much that he left. Which is crazy, like a super dick, like in hindsight, like so that kind of reminded me of what they were saying. For some reason, this guy liked me and then we would hang out all the time. And I was just like, okay.
But there's something like if it's, there's a difference between being funny, insightful, and witty, and then just being an asshole. So if you can get on that side of being like, identifying someone's weakness, honing in on it, really exploiting and exposing it.
Yeah, there was nothing poetic about what he was. He was just a bully and an asshole. But I remember like laughing, but not like, it was more like just as a defense mechanism.
Not me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. But,
yeah.
I guess it is because I said it's interesting. What a douche.
That guy would rip you to shreds right now.
He would, but then sometimes he would just, he would kind of, I stopped hanging because he was in Victoria for a bit. And then one time he called me and I think he was a little drunk. Like we were kind of hanging out. Kate, like my wife actually worked with him for a bit. And then, so that kind of extended the friendship. And then like, so we kind of knew both of us. And then one time he called me and he was, I don't drink or anything. And then he drunkenly called me to like come out and hang out. And I was like, I can't. And then he just like started making fun of me and my jeans on the phone. And I was like, all right.
That's all he made fun of was your jeans. He's just like, you fucking got Levi, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I wore some tight jeans.
Fucking white boy. Tight jeans.
And and then I was like, and then as an adult, you're like, I don't need this. Okay, I'll just, all right, see you, buddy. And that was the last time I talked to him. That was 10 years ago.
Oh God, let's phone him up right now.
He's probably great. A lot of people change.
Have him as a guest.
Well, that is the thing, is like, I think people do change and like, like some of the scariest guys in high school. Like one of my buddies who I work with, he's younger than me, but he's like, was reflective enough in his 30s to be like, I was an asshole till I was 22. I was not a very nice or good person. I was just a real dick, but had like a cool guy with lots of friends and stuff. And then just one day I was like, I don't want to be a dick anymore.
Yeah. This guy too, so the peak, this was like grade 7 or 8. So this peak, like he's at his peak power, and I was over his house and he took so long in the bathroom and that I peed my pants at his house.
What? Why did you pee your pants at his house?
There was only one bathroom. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in the bathroom. I just really had to go.
He was making fun of the
coke.
No, he was just making fun of the people in the pictures in the bathroom, or just making fun of the art. Look at this this walrus on the wall. Fucking.
I just imagine grade 7, all his insults were like, "That's so gay." That's it.
Totally. Yeah.
That's so,
But I never.
Like,
I was able.
He's a genius.
That's right.
That's breaking new ground. And then, so it's a nightmare being at this guy's house and peed my pants. And then.
We should just give him an animal.
Yeah, I didn't understand, and he never found out because I was able to get outside in time to negate the damage and finish on his like sidewalk, and then, or like on his patio, and then I like did like a little turn thing into the bathroom as I passed him, and then took off my underwear like kind of dried my shorts as much as I could, and then hid the underwear, and then we played Grand Theft Auto 3 until my mom picked me up.
until your shorts dried.
Yeah, but that was the most oh shit. I think that's the most oh shit moment of my entire life, because it would have been over.
It's funny when you pee.
Oh yeah.
When you don't, as a kid, like if you pee or poop your pants while you're in your house, you never realize that, like, hey, you could have gone outside. Like you could have gone outside when you're waiting. And that never occurs to you as a kid. Like you only pee in the bathroom. That's the only place you can go. You're like, now as an adult, you're like, I can pee anywhere. I don't give it. Like
peeing outside is fine. It's a little, taking a dump outside is a little bit of a different story, I think. Like I will.
You gotta go. You have?
I've only done that twice, I think, as a child. But Darren, I feel, has got a good outside poop story.
Outside, no. So I have been outside of my backyard and then like just been like, oh, I gotta pee in a corner, and I was like, I guess I could poo out there, and then just send the kids out to clean it up the next day, just pretend it was one of the dogs or something. But it just seems like such an odd. It's just the whole wiping thing. You can't shake after a deuce. That does not work to get you clean.
Depends what kind of deuce. We're being honest here. Depends what kind of deuce.
Well, now that I got kids, I got wet wipes with me all the time.
It's like a gunslinger.
Well, I had a question. So, has smoking weed changed for you guys since you've had kids?
Yeah.
Darren, you mentioned crippling anxiety.
Yeah, 100%,
but not weed.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I couldn't.
Hardest shit you've ever said, Elyott. Things change, but not the weed, man. You pull a bong into frame.
Well, you've noticed the poster in the back there, Nash. So that is there's no one now has mushroom stuff who does not do.
His wife makes him take that down after every podcast.
Look, there's a mushroom over there too.
All right.
My wife bought that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I can't. Oh, there it is. I see it. It looks like is it a cactus?
Right there is a mushroom guy.
The any of that anxiety is 100% related to having children, and then having to confront the mess that you've made out of your life too. That doesn't help.
due to the children.
That's right. Yeah. You're like, what? It's funny, like, because people ask me now, like, what's your, like, those kinds of questions where people are like, what's your retirement plan? What do you have? And I'm like, legitimately, my retirement plan. This is my retirement plan.
Bitcoin.
This empty, this empty piggy bank. That's my.
Don't you work for the government though, right?
I do. The government doesn't pay well. Go into the private sector.
Don't you get a pension though?
Started in the government though.
Yeah, I do have a pension, but I'll be lucky. I got into the government at the age when you're supposed to. Your mid-40s, where I'm like, they're like, great, now you can retire. I told my wife tonight we were watching she's like, well, what are we gonna do? I was like, we can always suicide. Don't worry. We can always ice flow it just like an Inuit elder. It's fine. We'll just push off and have fun, kids.
Is that what they used to do? I don't heard of that.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I think they would like, because the resources were so finite. At a certain point, they would just get on an ice flow, and they wouldn't be made to do it, but they'd just be like, I see the writing on the wall now. There's only so much seal left. We're out of here.
Welcome to Poetic Racist Assumptions. Darren Millar.
They end up in Florida and they're like, hit Miami beaches.
That's right. I took social studies in 1978. That's what they taught us. So
yeah, that's what happened to them. They all just went on the ice floe. They wanted to.
It's the first case of assisted suicide.
Yeah. Assisted by a penguin. I know that's wrong. I know penguins aren't. That's fine.
In the North Pole.
That's right.
Did you ever see the penguins will do that too? Did you ever see Adventures at the End of the? It's a Werner Herzog film about Antarctica.
No.
You got to say it right. It's Werner.
Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog.
So it's the penguins. The penguins, they it's like the best.
You got to
part
say
of
it with an accent.
The penguins.
Well, no.
The penguins.
Nobody knows why it's the penguins. Bounty hunting is complicated. Nobody knows why. So basically, the penguins they all march, like they migrate back and forth.
They march.
Then he's like, it's insane. Eventually, one just stops, turns towards the mountains, contemplating the who knows what, and then walks towards the mountains. And then these penguins will walk. A single penguin will walk towards the mountains until it dies.
That doesn't. Who's being racist now?
Since having kids, I have thought about doing that at least a dozen times.
Walking.
Just
then
walk.
the researchers will take the penguins back, put it back in the herd, and they'll leave again. They can't stop it.
What is the solitary lemming leap for? Like
To die. They just go until they die.
It's they call it the forest. They call it the Forrest Gump syndrome.
Nobody knows why they go towards the mountains.
Existential despair.
Yeah.
They go to find themselves, but they only find death.
Didn't you? So Darren, you said your life's in shambles. Did you? I am always expecting when I have a child that everything will just kind of make sense. Is that true?
Elyott, do you want to take this? Do you want to field this question?
Do you mean
as far as like purpose goes, and you're like, oh, like now, you're like, now I just have to care for this guy, and it doesn't, or girl.
We're here to fuck, procreate, and then die. Like after, like I've almost outlived my usefulness because my kids are 14 and 11. So they're all, one of my buddies, his dad has I think terminal cancer, and he sort of said his dad's like, well, if I could do some chemo, maybe I could squeeze another 5 years out. And my buddy's like, why? Like, what for? Like, you're both your kids, you've got grandkids, and none of us are fuck ups. And like, so what do you go? To what end? So you can sit in the garage and drink beer? Like, yeah,
dude.
Yeah, I know. And I'm kind of on the dad's side. I'm there with him. I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, please don't kill him.
You can walk around a golf course a couple more times. Come on.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? What were we talking about before that?
Kids.
Mushrooms.
Oh, there's a feeling after you have a kid's like your mission is done. Like once you have your first kid, you're like, there's like this weird angst that lifts from your shoulders. Like you have to and then you're like, okay, I can feel like I can, like my time is almost over.
Yeah, I'm so sick of me.
I don't know. Did you ever feel that, Darren?
Yeah. Well, your only job is that becomes the sense of purpose and direction becomes singular, where you're just like that. My only thing is to like make sure that thing is taken care of and to do as little damage to them as possible.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
We're not supposed to damage them? I've been doing this all
I mean,
wrong.
it doesn't work because we all damage them or get damaged. Yeah. So, but I mean, you try to just mitigate it. That's all.
I think each generation will get a little better from now on.
What about people who have fur babies? I mean, that's a thing too. So what about people who, a dog or a cat, it's their fur baby?
That's my purpose.
Yeah.
Cleo is a good kitty.
I think it's different because you can legally beat a fur baby, which kind of changes the dynamic and purpose.
Beat a fur baby. That sounds more like something you Google on on Pornhub.
I will.
We were doing so well, and then I had to bring up beating a dog.
Have you ever beat a dog? Shia LaBeouf shot dogs. Did you hear that?
No.
Shia LaBeouf went around LA shooting dogs.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, 100% true. He was like, his girlfriend who he beat up said that he went around LA shooting dogs to learn how to play a role as a gang member.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I did see that movie. It was a terrible movie.
He didn't shoot enough dogs. If he shot a few more dogs, the movie would have been way better. He would have been perfect for the role.
He was
very
only
good shot 3 dogs. Yeah, he's a decent actor. We watched Transformers.
In Fury, he went and watched the horses get slaughtered.
Very method.
Yeah, because there's a scene where they talk about all these dead horses, and he went to like a glue factory and watched.
I don't know if it's method or mentally ill,
but that's weird.
Yeah.
And that cut
for Transformers, he fucks some cars. Just like I got feel what it's like to.
We call that tailpipe.
He laid with some hot metal.
Tailpiping.
I like Shia LaBeouf as an actor, but I think shooting dogs is a bit much. I don't like that. I don't like dogs really, but I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not.
It's a little over the line, like slap him around, show him who's boss.
Yeah.
But don't kill him. Don't shoot him.
I forget who it was that
you can rocket launcher cows, but don't shoot dogs.
An interview with Dustin Hoffman, and he was talking. I forget which actor he was working with, but he was young. Dustin Hoffman was young, and he was like, I think he was getting interrogated or something. So
was this Rain Man? Was this when he was with Tom Cruise?
No, he was supposed to be very sleep deprived in the scene, so he stayed up for days beforehand and did the scene. And then the old actor that he was working with just leaned over and he's like, you can just act tired. And then he stopped doing that kind of shit after working with that guy. You can just pretend to be tired.
You just get your ball breaking with older actors. I think was it Laurence Olivier? That sounds right.
Maybe, I don't know. Do you know that?
I feel like I know that. I'm guessing. I think it was in
Old Elders. If it was... He went on the ice sheet. Laurence Olivier. He went on the ice melt and then he just drifted off. And he's like, "This is how you act."
I was thinking he was in Cocoon.
Why the Laurence of Arabia goes out to the ice sheet.
And Jessica Tandy. The
fuck you call me?
Jessica Tandy. That's right. You're pretty like Jessica Tandy, driving Miss Daisy.
Got those thighs like Jessica Tandy. I don't know who Jessica Tandy is, but
I do have thighs though. Thank you for remembering.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
My thighs. No, I'm not going to say that. All right.
Pussy.
Do you do? Okay, so do you smoke less weed or more weed now that you have children? Darren, shut up, Elyott. Darren.
No, I don't smoke. I have lots of weed, and I don't smoke any weed.
Okay.
I smoke it really little bit.
Yeah. A really little bit. That sounds like you smoke it a lot. But.
Yeah. Just huge bong rips before going to the.
No.
I miss those days of like. That's what I want to smoke weed like I did in my 20s because it was so much fun. Like I just, just doing huge bucket hoots and sitting around just laughing with buddies and, watching movies or even going on adventures like to the grocery store. We're like, whoa, this is amazing, and spend an hour and a half at the grocery store just molesting fruit. But then...
So you don't miss the weed. You miss a lifestyle which allows you to smoke weed.
Maybe that's
abandon.
I love to rub the papayas along my nipples. Oh,
sir, we've told you cannot come in here anymore.
Nobody understands why the papaya feels so good on the belly hair.
Yeah, smoke.
Cool.
I remember doing edibles and playing video games, but I don't really play video games anymore. Like that's the funnest thing to do was edibles and video games. But I don't play video games right now. But maybe I'll try it again.
What was your game of choice?
Rocket League. I played that and League of Legends. I played so many League of Legends games.
Why do you not? And then why do you not play anymore? Because of kids, right?
No, gamer rage. My life was going no.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
So here it is. Here's some gamer edge right here.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, okay? You piece of shit. You're dragging the whole team down. You think you're a podcaster? You're barely even an Erster. I don't know.
Is that just fist in wall, whipping? How many controllers you go through in a year?
No, I never did that. It'd just be more like I'd be playing, and then my wife would come in, and she'd be like, "Hey, it's dinner time," and I'd be like, "Fuck you! I gotta play another one. I just lost. This fucking dude just sucked his own dick."
Yeah, I go through stints of. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, now I lost it.
Oh, you go ahead.
Back to you, Elyott.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't play a lot of.
No, you go ahead.
I go through stints. Oh, fucking.
Ignore him, Nash.
I'm just gonna let him sit with it. I'm not gonna rage quit or anything.
I
am also I'm trying to relate to you, Elyott. I'm also hyper competitive, and then I start to
meltdown.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I lose, and I'm like, I'm just going to commit my whole life to this discipline now, and then I'm on like these like forums, trying to figure out how to beat everybody, and then I start being late for work, and then I go, okay, I need to stop. I need to uninstall this game, and then I do, and then that happens every 5 months.
And then you just get rid of it. You got to ditch it.
Yeah, in a moment of weakness, I go uninstall, and then I'll uninstall it. Delete all the saved games. Okay.
One time I threw my computer into my closet. Like I uninstalled it. I unplugged my computer from the wall, unplugged everything, my monitor. I threw it all just threw it in my closet and buried it under stuff. And then the next day I had to pull it all out and I reinstalled the game. And I started playing again.
Did you actually the next day?
No, actually it lasted kind of like a month maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That pretty much is the best. Like I have a little bit of a Fortnite addiction, and like I've said, I was like, if my son didn't have the PS4, if he was moved out and going to college, wasting his life at university, getting a degree in anthropology or something, I would definitely take the PS4 and get rid of it, because I don't have the self-control to like not play Fortnite on my lunch break or when I'm done work or in the morning before work. I just can't.
That lunch break thing, that's how you know it's a problem. If it's like,
yeah,
I'll get up early and play before work. Yeah.
I haven't bought my own system. Like the last system I bought was like the PS4 when it first came out. Me and my brother split it. But then since then, I haven't even bought my own system, only a computer.
You no interest to get a PS5?
I want one. I don't think I should buy it. It'll be bad. Like I don't know. I've enjoyed more trying to like get hobbies where like I'm actually working on a skill that applies to real life.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like jerking off.
Yeah.
You can get pretty good at it. Like you guys don't even know. You can take it to a next level. Like there's these Skillshare. Have you ever been on Skillshare? They have tutorials for jerking it, and you add like torque.
Elliott's talking about jerking off other guys though.
You add like torque, and you add a little bit of muscle. You need some elbow grease in there. And it's
keep going.
Nash is almost there.
You add a little reverse thumb action, and then
Wow.
No, I agree with you. Not only jerking off, but like woodworking too, or origami, or thumbs and buttholes, whatever you're into.
Yeah, I don't do anything. Are you guys? How you doing for time, Elyott? Is this okay?
We got like maybe 5-10 more minutes.
Okay. Do you? How are you guys struggling with?
Bring it home. Sorry.
I'm going to open a big can of worms. How are you guys struggling with
Leroy Jenkins? Sorry.
With losing your thing? Like, I don't know if you consider comedy your thing, but having lost it.
I thought we were back at jerking off and wieners. Okay.
Well, I haven't had an erection in several years, and ever since I gave up League of Legends.
You just can't get that juice like you used to.
I think, I hate it. I think not being able to go out. Like I'm like, oh, this is like shut-in practice for when I'm in my 70s. Like it's crazy. And I need to have that connection. Like I need to be able to go dick in my mouth. That's right. I really miss going out and hitting the alleys.
You do your 5 minutes and then you go do your 5 minutes.
That's right. That's how
I just wondered how you're getting so many spots. I was like, how's this guy?
That was serious.
And then you use the cum on your to seal your table.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is mine. I don't know.
Shellac, and I use shellac.
Put it in your pocket. This is mine.
I think it's a very and then I can't find anything to I'm like looking out in the backyard. I'm like, well, I guess I'll start gardening again. I'm like, gardening compared to comedy, gardening sucks. So, I mean, still, I will do it whatever. It's fine, but it's I miss doing it. And then I wrote a short story, and I was like, oh, I'll send it to Nash. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I read over it again. I was like, this is dumb.
I was wondering.
It's on fire.
Yeah, you got my email, and then I was waiting for it, and I'm like, oh, I guess he's not sending it.
I know. I was like, oh, because the nice thing actually about doing comedy is you can go out and you come up with a story. You're like, oh, I'm going to talk about Xbox controllers, and you go and you only fail in front of. It's very ephemeral, and you fail in front of 12 or 15 people, and then you get to go back and make it better. But then if you take a PDF of some stupid story
to Nash, and then Nash posts it online, and then then they're
goes, everyone take your best shots at this idiot.
You can be vulnerable with me, Darren. It's okay. I won't betray you like that.
All right.
Why do you get cum on the lips? How do you get?
I got.
I've received a lot of blowjobs. I've never once cummed on the lips.
It's like eating soup. You got to get it all in there.
It's a beard thing, I think.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, your mustache coming in nicely, Nash. It was very.
I think it's just the lighting it's not really in real life. These fucking French jeans, useless.
Oh,
is that what your friend used to call you? French jeans, motherfucker. You got those Levi's.
Those American Levi's. No.
You got those Gucci jeans?
Yeah, I don't really remember any of the insults. I just remember just fear and being
terrified.
Fire and brimstone and and sharp precision.
Did you guys ever have fights at your school?
Yeah.
Really? He grew up in Terrace. Of course he had fights. That's
There were bad ones or just were there any blood?
Oh yeah. I never got into any myself, obviously, but there's a rough mostly when you were kind of young, they kind of stopped at grade 11.
Yeah, I looked at your face and I thought you'd never gotten in a fight.
Thank you.
Isn't that weird? I thought.
Yeah.
We used to have Fight Club at our school.
Really?
Was that what they call Bible studies?
Yeah. You memorize your verse and then you go 3, 2, 1. For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son. And whoever gets to the end won. And you're like.
I think you got to report that priest if he's like, we don't. First rule about Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club. Sorry.
And then Darren took me into the back.
You had Fight Club.
Yeah, we'd go into the change room. You'd pile in, and then two people would fight with boxing gloves.
That seems like a bad idea. Was this?
Nobody ever got hurt.
Was this inspired by the movie Mary Poppins?
Yeah, we all had umbrellas and we sang songs.
Sounds good.
I'm going to punch you in the face. You can call me the one-hit ace.
Keep going.
Nash is almost there.
Yeah, no, there would be fights.
You're
There'd be
going
like
to be a disgrace when I hit you in your face.
There were spontaneous fights, like stuff that just break out. I remember there's nothing more exciting than they'd be like, there's a fight, and then like 60 people run the fight, and then it's like a zombie horde, and there's like a circle of like, and then these girls are like punching each other and pulling each other's hair, and everyone's like, there's a fight.
I don't think there's ever a girl.
Did anyone beat up any teachers? Was there any like teacher fights or?
No. The most hardcore ones were the ones who were like, I'm gonna fight you at the skate park on Thursday, and then they would like plan it. So it wouldn't get broken up by teachers.
Cue montage out there training.
My friend punched this one kid, and in the gym because he was bullying his brother, he decked him just one punch, and then the guy was just like bleeding on the basketball court. That's like the most aggressive fight I saw. Oh, actually, two Korean kids fought once, and they knew like flips and back kicks and all sorts of like taekwondo. I think is the Korean martial art. But they were pretty skilled.
Was it a demonstration or an actual?
No, they were mad at each other.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I kind of respect that. If they both have those skills. That's my favorite videos to watch. Are like the kids fighting, but the one kid is clearly a very skilled martial artist. There's
they do like jiu-jitsu.
13-year-old kid like, and then the one guy's like got this sweet stance and just like waiting, and bam, and the king just goes down.
I saw the only fight. This was just after high school. Seeing a fight with a guy. We're just at a party drinking. And there's one guy he goes talking to this one guy. He goes, remember in high school, man, you used to pick on me all the time. Remember that? The guy's like, oh yeah, it's funny. He says, yeah, remember that one time he stole my hat? He's like, I'm gonna kick your ass when I'm done this beer. And the guy's laughing away. Oh, this is great. And then Scott, the guy who he goes, I'm done my beer now, Jeremy. And he puts it down. And then there was only maybe like 10 of us in the place. We're like, what the fuck happened? He just jumped up and just throttled him. Punched him maybe 30 times in the side of the face. So much so, I think he almost went blind in the eye, and it looked like someone had shoved a golf ball underneath his eye. Oh my God. Eye was just swollen shut. But the whole time, just warning of like, just being like, that's it. Remember that? You were such an asshole to me. I'm going to fucking.
That's so cool. How old were you guys?
Like 18 or 19.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, I mean, terrified. Like, we're like, whoa, you can stop. You need to stop now. Quit hitting him. But yeah,
that's so cool.
I don't have that. I don't have those types of grudges. I don't hold grudges. No. I'm not a grudge holder. There's a few grudges I do have. But I'm not a grudge holder. No. You can't hold on to that.
Oh no, you hold it all onto it, squeeze it up, and then turn it into art, Elyott. That's what you're supposed to do with it.
On the guy's face.
My only grudge is against God.
I think if I would, I don't have any grudges like that currently, but if I did, I would do that. Like that's the kind of revenge I want to get, like long term. Like this guy fucked me over for my business, like he stole a thermos, and I'm like,
it's gonna kill him.
No, but I put a note in my phone I set an alarm for 4 months from now to start thinking of revenge, just so enough time has cooled off that like he doesn't know it's me.
You're going to build a giant thermos and then lock him in it.
That's right. I do like but now I like the less physical, but more like you'd sneak into his house and put a trout in his heating vent or something, and then just do all the screws back up and just, that's a classic.
Have you heard of the chicken breast? Have you heard of that tactic? You take a raw chicken breast.
I have heard of a chicken breast, yes.
Thank you. Then you put it in a mason jar. A raw chicken breast, you put it in a mason jar, you seal it, and then you hide it. And then months later, when the gases build up enough, the glass breaks.
Oh my God. Oh, that's just going to be awful.
Yeah. Nothing
I
worse than
thought blood.
glass, right?
That is.
One time at a Thrifty's, a person put like a full salmon behind, like there's barrels. It's like 3 barrels. This is what my friend was telling me. And they put the salmon in the middle of it and just left it. And then like months later, people were like, it really stinks in the store. And then they pulled the barrels back and there's a whole fish.
Oh, just covered. Oh my God.
The place I used to work, they used to, I think a rat died in the wall in the bathroom. So it just smelled like rotting rats for like 6 months.
Rats, weird smell. I had a rat die in my ceiling. It's a sweet smell too. It's not like it's like a death mixed with sweet. It's like this weird,
delicious smell.
Yeah, and then I just like ate the rat, and then it's like,
You need to feed we had a rat problem in one place I lived in, but we would feed them that poison that would dry them. I would feed them that poison that I made myself. Feed them the poison that would dry them out, so they wouldn't stink. Right, so their corpses would just become desiccated. You'd find them like rat jerky, like,
oh my God,
3 months later.
That's so disturbing that they can make that
poison. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea, but like, that's dark.
Yeah.
We want to kill this, but we don't want to smell it after we've done it.
That's right. Totally.
That's efficient. Any other rat stories?
No.
My son had a pet rat.
What was its name?
Swirly, Cutie McTootie, Swirly. I think Swirly.
I think rats.
Cutie
McTootie may have been.
That's Darren's nickname.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was a good. Yet that rats are great pet. They're better.
I think they're better than hamsters.
They're almost as good as dogs. I think they're super smart too. Like rats are very very smart creatures. Which makes you sort of sad when you think about poisoning them, so they corpse
turn into jerky.
He's passed. I'm assuming he is passed.
Yeah, we took him out, buried him. He is jerky.
He walked jerky towards the mountain. He took the ice melt.
No, but
the ice melt.
The rats eats the jerky poison.
The rat goes to the mountain and then he turns into jerky. Then he comes on the ice.
So you could just bury anything. You could just bury any animal. Our backyard is a pet store graveyard. That's like, yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pet cemetery. They come back up.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's wrap this baby up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Lots of fun.
Can we change it to the informant, the ill informants?
No, that's terrible.
That's terrible?
I don't like it.
It seems okay, as opposed to the ill informers.
The ill informants or informers? I don't.
I'm stopping the recording. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.
You coward.